Happy Wednesday. It's the Prop Queen, Ariel Epstein, taking you to 6 p.m. Eastern Time here on the Prop Queen Pod. I fed Marley, so hopefully my dog is happy, doesn't puke or poop all over my apartment. But I decided, you know what, let's try to feed her before the show and see if that does any difference. I also tried to powder my face, which clearly didn't. Anyway, no one cares. Good Jewish hair dye. Thanks. Oh, good. Marley's laying down. Hopefully we got an hour out of her so she leaves us alone. I'm really behind today. Kelly in Vegas and I were working on something that we hopefully are excited to share very soon. Also had to do MLB Network today. Still haven't even finished the newsletter, which I usually have done and scheduled to go out. So got to finish that right after the show. Probably going to have some nice wine with pasta tonight because I'm feeling stressed. I've got things to do that I still have. Like, I edited, it took me like 2 hours yesterday to edit this video that just got sent back to me with all these changes that I basically just have to redo the whole thing again. Frustrating day. We had afternoon baseball today. I haven't even checked any of the bets that I mentioned in the newsletter today. So we're going to do that live to start the show. But before we get started, we have a first-time guest. I've never spoken to him. So please, if he sucks, don't yell at me. I'm just kidding. He shouldn't. Trinity Analytics, Jared Block, he's joining the show. Very smart guy, works with props.cash. I'm excited to get his take on Major League Baseball props. We'll talk a little bit of getting ready for the NFL season, how to break down those props. He's got all the numbers over at Trinity Analytics, also a partner of props.cash. So I'm very excited to have his take on tonight's slate in baseball. We had some day games today, and then we have a bunch of night games still. Usually it's getaway day today, but we had 2 games already completed. The Tigers beat the White Sox 1-0. The Rockies beat the Cardinals 6-5. We've got 5 games currently underway, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games tonight in Major League Baseball. 4 games tonight in the WNBA. Tonight, most importantly, Dodgers, Angels, Shohei Ohtani pitching against his former team. So that should be interesting. I've got a couple of plays in that game as well. You guys know I always have to tweet. Very excited for Jared Block to make his Prop Queen Sports debut, talking MLB and NFL props. Tune in for Prop Queen Edges for MLB and WNBA night slate. Okay. Got the retweet out since no one ever seems to tune in till the tweet. Yankees did not fire Aaron Boone yet, AOD, because they won yesterday. With every win comes another day of Aaron Boone. The Yankees bats were on absolute fire last night. They end up picking up the win over... Okay. They end up getting the win last night over the Twins 9-1. So they absolutely dominated. I had a feeling Carlos Rodon would have a good game last night. I mentioned it in the newsletter. His 6.5 strikeouts was very intriguing, but he only had 5. The Twins have really drastic lefty-righty splits. They strike out very little against righties, but a lot against lefties. But last night, not so much. Padres, first in the West Division. Yeah. It's annoying. Joe Ryan, no-hitter. He actually has an ERA just above 4 at Yankee Stadium, so not that great. And Giancarlo Stanton, I like him tonight. Talk about that a bit. I'm going to go through some of these props that, let's see, the propqueen.com newsletter. Let's just quickly go through some of the props from the premium subscription of the newsletter this morning, because I had some pitcher props. And if you think that on this busy day I looked at any of them, the answer is no. So one of the props I gave out was the White Sox starter Shane Smith to go over 4.5 Ks. He ended up with 5, so we hit that over. He was up against the Tigers, who have a K rate of just over 5 per starter. Brandon Woodruff, I had over 17.5 outs today for Milwaukee. They're up against the Pirates. That game currently 12-5 Milwaukee. Woodruff got taken out after 4 innings. He had 65 pitches. Did he get hurt again? Do we know if Brandon Woodruff got hurt in the chat? Oh, that's going to suck. You had under 17.5 outs. Yeah, he got hurt. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Brandon Woodruff got hurt. So I guess with Brandon Woodruff, that is always something to look out for. Where is our Michael Jordan fan tonight? I don't know. He probably didn't want to come back. He got roasted. Heading to Vegas to see Backstreet Boys. That's cool. My friend said it was awesome, by the way. My sister, I'm going to have to kill her right now. I'm about to write in all caps. I am always on air from 5 to 6. Jesus, my family. You would think this family, who literally talks to me every day, they know I do this show every day from 5 to 6. And I can't tell you how many times these wackadoos have been calling me between 5 and 6. Like, I'm on your Instagram. I'm on your X page. I'm on your YouTube. They all follow me. They all still call. God. Anyone else have this with family where you're like, dude, I'm working? Mama Epstein's always watching. My sister's definitely not. She hates sports. My sister, Jesus Christ. Okay, I can't deal with her right now. I can't deal with this right now. Sorry. So anyway, now that she distracted me, we have a few more pitcher props tonight to get to. Matchups to watch as well. Now I'm just annoyed with my sister, so I can't deal with her at the moment. I work with my siblings and 24/7. She could talk to you on the chat. Yeah, Mama Epstein always watches. I can't deal with her right now. I'm sorry. I'm really annoyed. Okay. Deep breaths. I just hate when siblings irritate you and you're working and she like now is saying that she's coming to my apartment to get something and ruining my entire feng shui of my week, which is whatever. No one cares. Okay, my day is already stressful enough and now I have to deal with her. So I'm going to say go to Grand Central. Sorry, guys. Okay. We have a guest coming on in 5 minutes, and he's going to deal with me now, dealing with this problem that I shouldn't be having to deal with at the moment. And it's very hard to produce a show, edit a show, get a newsletter done while your sister is telling you that she can't get home. Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday, and then it's Friday, and then it's the weekend. I asked Coach to come on today. He's busy. He has to pick up his kids at 5 o'clock, so he said he can't. Maybe Friday. We do have the W tonight, so I'm very excited about that. Other games that happened today in Major League Baseball. So Washington and Kansas City. That game's current. I was actually really excited to watch this Arizona-Texas game, which I did not watch. Nats are up 8-7 over the Royals. Seth Lugo started. Jake Irvin. I didn't really have anything there, I don't think. D-backs down 4-2 to the Rangers. Zach Gallen gave up 3 earned runs, 5 innings pitched. Padres up 7-0 over the Giants. Damn. Well, they had that young kid on the mound, Kei Tang. Yeah, he got rocked today. His under outs was pretty intriguing, and he only went 1 2/3. I think his outs prop was 14.5. So for anybody who had that, good call. The Padres actually average like 17 to 18 outs a game. So I didn't take it, but the Giants starter got pulled early. Phillies are in a rain delay with the Reds, by the way. So then we've got these games coming up later tonight. Trying to see if there was any big storylines too in Major League Baseball to talk about. Yeah, so the Brewers were looking to complete 3-game sweep over the Pirates. Astros and Mariners, as well as the Dodgers and Padres, entered today tied for the lead in the 2 Western divisions. So it's the latest into the season. The Padres have been in first place since 2010. Ohtani, like I mentioned, taking the mound against the Angels tonight. Mike Trout will face the pitcher Ohtani for the first time in Major League Baseball, even though we know that it happened in the World Baseball Classic where Trout struck out. Hunter Green returns from the IL for his first start since June 3rd as the Reds seek a series victory over the Phillies. But again, that's in a rain delay. In the newsletter this morning, I also gave out batters like matchups to watch. So if you got any of those in, I'm fading a Yankee tonight that might surprise you. So that'll be a little bit nerve-wracking. I really hope my sister's not coming here. I'm going to be pissed. I hear my door. Oh my God, I'm going to kill her. I'm really going to kill her. Okay. Anyway, so we have our guest coming on, and he's going to get me in a really bad mood. What else? Are you guys watching Hard Knocks, by the way? Oh, and you're welcome. Very excited to help out as best as I can. Have you guys been watching Hard Knocks? I know my parents have been, but I feel like Hard Knocks now is completely overrated. I'm over it. I have no interest in Hard Knocks anymore. It used to be really fun. It used to get us hyped up for football season. And now there's just too many of them. And they're not even that interesting, like Sean Michael said in the chat. Oh, yeah, Casbra. She's the unplanned guest. Yesterday, we had the Michael Jordan guest who pissed me off, who I've never even seen in the chat before, and then started calling me out over my takes that I don't follow up on, which I don't even know what he's talking about. And now today, it's my sister, who has not responded, but I told her from 5 to 6 she can't interrupt me. And here we are being interrupted by her telling me that she needs to come get my car, which I needed to take home on Friday. And now, I can't even give her the car because she needs a parking pass, to which I have in a parking lot that's down the street. So, what does she do? She thinks she's going to come here and take the car, and then what? I don't know. I'm really annoyed, and I'm apologizing for being irritated, but I hope my mom is watching because I want her to see how her daughter is being selfish and annoying me. Yeah, pissed off Epstein's good for business. It's imagine I show up to you at work. She works in a hospital. Imagine I show up and she's with a patient in the hospital. I'm like, yo, Alexa, I need your keys. It's sorry, I've got someone having a heart attack. No, I need your keys right now. I need your keys because I need to get home. Imagine she's a patient's heart attack. And I'm sorry, I need your keys. That's the situation I'm in. It's live. We need to get this done. We are live. She's going to disrupt Marley, who's sleeping nicely right now. I know she comes sometimes and she sits on my couch in her scrubs and I get so mad. I'm like, ew, get that off of my couch. I don't know. I think, you know what's annoying? People don't look at this job as a real job. People look at this job oh, you're having fun. You're talking about sports. Yeah, but it's how I make a living. So you can't just say, oh, you're just on here talking about sports. That doesn't matter. But I work in a hospital, so that's important. And you can't interrupt me at work because I'm in a hospital. No, everyone's job is equally important. I'm trying to make you guys money, and I don't take that lightly. Every time that I put out the newsletter or do this show, I'm really trying to make you guys money, and I don't think that handling people's money, it's me being a financial advisor or me working at the stock market. If you put your money in those hands, then you want to make sure that they do well by you. So I work hard to do that. But when you have somebody trying to come and steal your car, then you're not going to have success doing what you do because you're distracted the same way I wouldn't distract her if someone's having a heart attack in the hospital. Anyway, our guest is on, so I don't have to be irritated. I have to be nice for 10 to 15 minutes. Send Ariel 10K to make me money. Don't do that. Some people, they do that and then they steal people's money and they don't have any kind of, no. We're comparing a hospital to my work. No, we're comparing, oh, that's my dad's friend. Oh, I'm not answering you. Anyway, let's bring on a guest. Our next guest, coming over from Trinity Analytics, and I know he's got all the right info. I saw him come up on props.cash, who I absolutely love using. I love those guys over there. So Jared Block joining the show. Let's get to some props. How are you?
I'm doing great, Ariel. Thanks for having me on. Just watched my Brewers sweep the Pirates, so feeling good coming into the night slate.
I'm a little annoyed because I did like Brandon Woodruff to go over his 17 and a half outs today, and you just can't catch a break with this guy and his injuries.
Yeah, I know. I got burned by that a couple of weeks ago and felt good enough to list it as one of our top pitching outs plays today too. So I am feeling that outside of everything else.
So now that we've got the day slate underway, let's look to the night slate in Major League Baseball. What markets do you like to focus in on?
Well, I come from the DFS space, so I'm used to talking about fantasy score a lot. I will do my best to obviously go into the things such as total bases, strikeouts, obviously, and then the fun stuff like the home runs. So I think that there's a few things that you look at first before you really dive into the prop area. And that, to me, I just want to at least mention this in passing before we get down to everything. We do have a lot of weather tonight's slate, mainly in the New York area where both New York teams are playing at home. So there's storms in that game, those games, and we also have some potential rain in the Baltimore game. Cincinnati is already a rain delay as well. So getting those things out of the way first is unfortunate, but you kind of have to roll with the punches for that one. So with that said, though, I do want to focus on games that do have good hitting weather, and that those two games specifically are the nightcap games in Sacramento and in LA. So obviously, you know, you're not asking me to come on the show to talk about Shohei, but I got to lead with that one.
No, it's okay. I actually like many facets of Shohei tonight because the matchup against the Angels just matches up well.
Yeah, it's a great matchup. Not only for his strikeouts, though he is capped at 4 innings most likely today, but I do think you just got to, that's the best hitter on. It's not, that's the chalk of the chalk kind of take, and you just got to roll with that. But he is our number 1 overall hitter today, and I just don't, But the thing that I want to focus on for Shohei always as a hitter is the fact that he is stealing bags a lot more recently, and he's been walking extremely consistently. So, who has been known to obviously deal with command, he still has a 7% walk rate over the last 30 days to lefties. So, if you want to play Shohei, the easy way to do it, if you're on Underdog or Prize Picks, is just take the over of the fantasy score. I understand probably the whole industry is on that, but it is what it is, and you just roll that until it falls off today.
I like it. I actually also like Shohei Ohtani tonight on the mound, which I'll get to a little bit later in the show. Have there been any trends in Major League Baseball that stood out to you as we're way past the trade deadline now?
That right now is where you start to really hone in on who's getting hot and who is selling. And so you're looking at teams like the Padres today, who just put up double-digit runs. They obviously made all of their trade acquisitions, and it's paying off for them, and they're doing extremely well from that standpoint. So you kind of like to look at the teams that are starting to get hot. I guess, obviously the Brewers are another example of that, but the last several World Series, not necessarily winners, but teams that have made it, teams like the Orioles from a few years ago, the Rangers from a few years ago when they got hot, Diamondbacks, same thing. So you're looking for those teams that are jumping off the page. And like I said, the Padres are a team like that. The Brewers are a team like that. I think that you continue to ride those offenses, and they are certainly, I guess, not Baltimore. Toronto is another team that's going to be on the night card that is catching some steam, and they are the best team for hand. You can choose the players that are specifically hot.
Yeah, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is one of those players. Bo Bichette also. Is there anybody in that game that you would focus in on?
Yeah, for that specific matchup, Cade Horton has been a decent pitcher overall, and I think he mitigates damage enough to the point where you want to just focus on the hottest hitters for Toronto. And for me, that obviously, like you said, is Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the 317 WRC plus against right-handed pitching, the best in baseball. Again, another one with maybe a little bit of a sample size, but would be Dalton Varsho, David Schneider, if he makes the lineup tonight, would be another place to look. The Blue Jays are just a massive
Jared, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Your video keeps going in and out. I'm not sure if there was like a way to refresh or.
Sure.
If not,
I'll close some tabs.
Okay, cool. Sorry. It just kept going in and out, so we couldn't hear you. And I know someone in the chat just asked, when am I doing NFL capping? I've already started doing some NFL handicapping, and I've mentioned some season-long props that stood out to me a few times on the show. But I would love to get Jared's take on when he starts doing NFL handicapping and how do you approach the season-long prop market?
Yeah, so I think by now most of your biggest, the guys that are having like full steam ahead the whole summer, guys like Bijan, guys like Bucky Irving, and then you're obviously your staple quarterbacks. They're going to get a lot of steam the moment that those markets open. I usually dabble here and there, have Bijan's rushing touchdowns from like June when they first opened. But I've kind of just focused on some preseason stuff with the daily side of things. And then I usually don't like to do anything season long after June or July until right around the end of next week. The end of this weekend, because we're going to get the majority of these week 2 starter situations. They'll play these preseason first halves, and then week 3 is all about trimming the fat and making sure that they have full squads. So once that second turnaround of the preseason goes and we get more news on some injuries, like for example, my QB Jordan Love.
No, he's frozen. Frozen Jared. Okay, let's see if he comes back. I know he's frozen now. Oh, now he's back. Sorry, you completely froze that time. I was trying to spare you and
I'm watching
the face
as I'm doing that too.
I didn't want to freeze you right there where your face was frozen, so I took you off. But okay, you're back.
Yeah, so like I said, I kind of just want to focus on things once we get one more week of preseason under our belts, because you could see guys take jumps in the pecking order in the depth chart. And I think that like rookies would be an interesting way to watch like how they perform with their first team units this week specifically. So I'm keeping an eye on a few of those things. And
which
like
rookies do you have your eye on in hopes of potentially a good weekend and then maybe taking advantage of a buy low spot because they're a rookie?
Sure. Well, I was looking
this is good for drafting
Golden
too, by the way. I know like all my drafts start in the next couple of weeks.
Exactly, right. So the Matthew Golden stuff this week is important because the Packers did obviously draft him, first wide receiver taken in over 20 years. It'll be important to see how he looks this week, because that will kind of give you a good indication of what happens in week 1. And we also know that Jaden Reed is dealing with an injury that he might miss week 1 as well. So we'll see how that goes. The Packers flopped in their first preseason game. I would expect more of a first unit offense. So Golden's really intriguing to me, and the player prop markets that I've seen. So I do think that he's worth a watch. Something that we're monitoring earlier in the week, which also could be disastrous for this offense, is what happens to Matthew Stafford. Is he actually going to be 100% entering the season? Mixed reports on that. So that's really, I've been suggesting to people who have Puka Nacua interest to kind of, I guess, back off this week. If you're drafting this weekend, it's a really tough call, because I'm not really sure how healthy Stafford is. And if you lose that, I can't really imagine feeling good with Jimmy G being the primary QB for the majority of the first half of the year. So those are some of the things that I'm looking at this week, but we'll really hit the ground running come Monday.
Speaking of those Rams, so on the other side, you've now lost Cooper Kupp, who goes to the Seattle Seahawks. What is your outlook for Kupp season?
Yeah, well, Kupp also loses his who would have been the QB in Geno Smith, who left town as well. So I think that, I never really like to see wide receivers on the other side of that age bracket, but I don't know, man. I think that Cooper Kupp is probably going to be just fine at his ADP right now, but I always kind of worry that he hasn't been able to finish a full season in a couple of years. So I'll probably take a bearish approach on that one. I think Seattle kind of just takes a step back in general this year.
Any players this season that you would say, hey, I'd only be looking at unders, or don't draft him?
Yeah. I think this is an interesting situation to watch what's happening with, I think, 2 specific ones. I guess I'll start out in the AFC East with Breece Hall. I do think that he had some drama over the past couple of weeks, and we've seen a lot of Braylon Allen on the field with the starting units. You have Justin Fields at away some goal line stuff from Breece. I just feel like there's a world where, yeah, sure, he definitely is an all RB1 talent, but if not given the right situation, if sharing time with not even like just the mobile quarterback, but the RB2 that's a freak athlete. I do think that Breece Hall could be, for me, one of my biggest fades of the year. We'll see how that pans out. Always bold to take stances like that. And then the other one for me that I'm looking at, and I need to find a way to look at more of what's going on with the starters and how they run this offense. But I am down on Aaron Rodgers again here. We saw with his time with the Jets, the time that we've seen with him, that offense turned into an extremely pass-heavy offense, and that didn't always bode well for Rodgers. I don't think that he should be throwing 40 times a game, and he's looking to, I think that when we see him with the Steelers, I don't think that we're going to see him throw more than 30 times a game unless it's an absolute shootout. So I'm on the under for Rodgers. I think that Arthur Smith at the OC role now with them really makes them a run-heavy situation, and I just don't think that if Rodgers is able to throw it back one more time, so be it. I always love him for that with his time with my team. But at the same time, you got to look at father time and you got to look at the run heavy offense. And they want to run the ball. They want to have good defense in Pittsburgh. And that's probably what they'll do.
Well, when you look at props.cash, you would see that his passing yards prop of 3,250.5 is a number that he's gone over in all of the last 4 seasons he's played. And the one that he obviously didn't go over was the one that he didn't play in last 2 years ago. So it's a very fishy line when you're looking at a prop that Aaron Rodgers has gone over in pretty much all of the years that he's played in the last 5.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think that we are looking at an offense, and this is just me making a stance on a situation that, historically has panned out. Arthur Smith teams have been run heavy, historically speaking. So that's kind of just my hopeful take on that. And just hoping that they are saying, you know what, you're nearing whatever age season he's in right now. What is it, 18 or something? He can't be throwing the ball 30 plus times.
Or he is
Exactly.
42.
So like, this is not the Tom Brady situation from the Bucs when they went to the Super Bowl where they were throwing at the highest clip in the league. This is a spot where I think that the Steelers are probably one of the top 4 or 5 run offenses in terms of plays ran from the line of scrimmage. So that's kind of my take on it. And I think that there's a world where, sure, it'll be sweaty because these future ones always are, but a cash is a cash if he still finishes with 3,100 yards.
That's true. I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers' line is fishy for his passing yards. Saquon Barkley's rushing yards is fishy. Derrick Henry rushing yards is fishy.
Yeah.
I'm like, either stay away or take the under. Derrick Henry, his number is like 500 yards less than what it was last year. What are you looking at for Henry's season?
Yeah, I mean, Henry's spot, he was just a monster for so long. And I think that, we had this idea and thought process that he and Lamar can succeed. And for the majority of the time, that was actually pretty accurate. Now, I do think that as you get older, obviously, they're going to continue to try to help him make it through the season. I think that one thing from this year compared to last year that's most notably different is that we do have a healthy Keaton Mitchell who has looked really good in the preseason, scored a touchdown last week.
That's a loaded backfield plus Lamar.
Exactly. And then you have your obvious weapons that they will share the ball with. I do think that at some point, when push comes to shove, they'd like to limit Derrick Henry. I don't think they're going to give him the normal workload that he had received last year.
I know that you're over there at Trinity Analytics, Jared. So what do you guys do at Trinity Analytics in case people don't know about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been playing DFS, Daily Fantasy Sports, since FanDuel and DraftKings. For those who remember, you see them with every single, like it's one of those things where like they are on every single stadium, every single commercial, every single whatever. 2014-15 is when I first got started in DFS and fell in love with that since. And then recently with this new spike in the sportsbook activations, as well as the underdog fantasy and prize picks over under system, that's where our focus has led us to. So I come from a DFS background. I come from the ability to play a one night lineup, the ability to play a single game slate. And so I'm always fascinated about finding the edge from a individual player performance situation. So what we do at Trinity Analytics is we have our projection systems as well as our research models to write up every single game for every single slate for MLB purposes. We dive into NFL. Obviously, we play every single showdown slate, on the island primetime games. And we also run over under for any single player prop that you could ask for. So that's kind of what our focus is. But in terms of what I like to do the most, I like to actually look at a card and look at games going on and kind of just break down how I see things planning out. So I take pride in actually writing down and going like manually throughout everything and typing it out. So I know that sometimes some people don't really want to hear that. They just want to hear like right to the punch, like what do you want over under this player, etc. I just like the whole entire process of enjoying it, even if it is backbreaking.
We love numbers over here. It's all numbers.
Yes.
It's analytics. It's finding the edge. We do have a question for you from JMain34. He said he's got 9th in a 10-man. Who should he take?
Ooh, that one's interesting to watch because I do think that's like it's kind of right where you'd think that Puka would be going. So I actually told a buddy a couple of days ago who asked me that because he was doing a redraft and he needed to make some decisions, and I said let's just hold off on the Puka stuff right now. So for me, I'm also kind of just staying away from the Trey McBride like top 12 hype. I think that's got some room to probably regress just a little bit. So for me, man, I guess I'd have to
Sorry to
ask
put
if
you on the
who's
spot. You
who's
don't need it.
available. I guess who's available is my question for you. But I'd stay
Right.
away
He
from.
doesn't want Puka.
Yeah, I don't want Puka.
No. Okay. So, well, that's your advice, J-Main. No Puka. No Puka. I'm just obviously calling Puka because he has no quarterback, probably. All right. Jared Block, make sure to give him a follow over there on social media because he's going to guide you guys through all you need to know the rest of Major League Baseball season. He's got NFL. He does NBA. Thank you so much for joining here on Last Notice. Appreciate you and good luck this season.
Thanks for having me on, Ariel. Hope we can do this again and I have a better camera quality.
Absolutely. If you want to come on and join this absolute shit show that my sister just completely threw at me that she might have to come steal my car, you're always welcome. And I'm sure it'll be more of a disaster as we get through football season. So appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
Have a good night, Jared. Oh, I always feel bad for guests when they come on and I'm in a bad mood, but it's okay. I got wine tonight. Now, my bad mood's going to be more spoiled if the wine I got, because I'm trying a new wine. I like a Sancerre, and I saw this bottle of Sancerre in the liquor store, and I was like, ooh, that looks pretty good and chilled. So I'm going to try it. But white. Sancerre is white. It's French. I am going to be very upset if the wine is bad. So we're going to find out, because then it's not meant to be. But I need wine. And I've got to work all night tonight. Stolen cars, Jordan LeBron debates. Show is having a hell of a week. Yeah. And I could be like, just call me Shohei Ohtani because we steal cars, we steal real estate, we give out bets. The New Zealand white wines are great, Earl. Kim Crawford, spot on. I almost got her today. Actually, Kim Crawford's owned by a guy, but I decided to change it up. So we'll see. They sharp on NBA. Definitely win some money. You know what we didn't talk about? No, not over 4.5 glasses. Are you insane? Mark, it is a Wednesday. Get with it. It's Wednesday. I'm not an alcoholic. It's a functioning alcoholism. And it's it's damp weeks. Whatever. Schedule for NBA tomorrow. I'm glad that your wife supports Kim as well. Schedule for NBA tomorrow. I know Christmas games came out. Honestly, I literally don't care about the NBA until Thanksgiving. I'm going to talk about it, but we've got to here's how my life works. In case you don't know, in case you're new, we've got Major League Baseball through October, plus NFL starts in September. So NFL and MLB drives me into a absolute hole of I just become a shell of myself and have no days off, which I already work 6 days a week, but then I have no days off until I go to Aruba. So once baseball season ends, I go to Aruba, and I will be there for 2 weeks. I will not be working one of them. I will work the second week that I'm in Aruba with Kelly in Vegas. After I get back from Aruba is when I start to look at the NBA. So that is mid-November. And yes, Christmas is when I really care about the NBA, but because of the industry I am in, I have to focus on the NBA sometimes, even before Christmas. I know you all don't care about it until Christmas, but I've got to focus on the NBA a little bit because you degenerates out there will then come into the chat and tell me that you're pissed off that I didn't give you NBA for opener, which is in October. You all want the openers. Then we kind of die down a bit because LeBron dies down and doesn't care, which who even knows what the hell team he'll be on. I'm sure our friend over on YouTube who hates Michael Jordan is like waiting for LeBron. But anyway, yeah, and the cup, the stupid cup. Gosh. I feel like I could say all these things now because none of these places employ me anymore. I'm angry. I need wine. That's why I went and got wine. And the weather is about to be crappy here in New York. But I'm going to make you all laugh. So my sister last night, before she annoyed me today, she reminded me of a video that is on social media. And I'm going to share it with all you guys, like closer to when college football starts. Because I wanted you guys to all get excited for football season and put you in good spirits for football. So I'm going to show you this very embarrassing video of myself at some point. I don't even know if my sister's coming. I'm going to let's look on Find My Friends. I stalk her. Let's look on Find My Friends and see where my sister is and if she freaked me out for absolutely no reason. Oh, see, it looks like she went to Grand Central. I solved it. I solved the problem before the problem. My sister says all trains canceled leaving Penn Station, so she's going to have to come to me to get my car to take to my parents' house so she could dog sit my parents' dog, the one that didn't die. I'm like, why don't you just go to Grand Central? Why don't you just go to the other train station, which is literally closer than coming here to get the car? She was just trying to be annoying. But look, I said, why don't you go to Grand Central? And guess where she is? At Grand Central. So much easier. And now I don't have to worry about being interrupted. It is a giant cluster. You're right, Alex, it is. This is what sisters are. And now she's going to be mad at me when I see her on Friday. She's going to be, you were so mean to me. You were mean for no reason at all. That's what I'm going to get. And my parents are moving my brother into college, so they won't even be there to separate us. So if I'm not on the show Friday night, you know she killed me. Just saying. We both need boyfriends, Shawn Michael. We both need boyfriends. She doesn't miss me. I just saw her. Solving problems and cashing bets. Speaking of, thank you, Lewis Creech, for getting us back on track here. Let's win some money. So, we're going to talk about some of the late night matchups to watch. I'm going to share my screen with you guys since, of course, I didn't make any graphics because it has been a hell of a day. So I'm going to share the Prop Queen newsletter with you so we could go through some of the... Oh, here it is. Share screen. This is a preview of the newsletter for today. So these are the matchups to watch for tonight's slate. Anthony Volpe actually has very good numbers against the Twins starter, Joe Ryan, hitting .556. His over hits, runs, and RBI is plus 125. It's a number he's gone over in 3 of the 5 home games against righties and 6 of the last 10. Justin Turner, for some reason, I couldn't find his prop, and he's not hurt. He's hitting .333, 2 doubles and 2 homers against Kevin Gausman. Kyle Tucker hitting .444 with 2 doubles against Gausman. Freddie Freeman hitting .400 with a double and a homer against Kyle Hendricks. Shohei Ohtani, very small sample size, but he's 3 for 5 with a double and a homer against Kyle Hendricks. 2.5 is his hits, runs, and RBI. Mind you, Ohtani is pitching tonight, but Ohtani's gone over his 2.5 in 3 of 4 on the road against the Angels since last year. Overall on the road at night, Ohtani went over in 62% of games in 7 of the last 10. I don't love betting Ohtani at the plate when he's on the mound, but that's up to you. Randy Arozarena, 3 for 6 with 2 home runs against the lefty Trevor Rogers. His over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBI is minus 140. He's gone over that in 62 games on the road, 62% of games on the road against lefties. On the road at night, Arozarena went over in 7 of the last 10. Bad matchups. Michael Harris, 1 for 13 with a double and 6 strikeouts against the Mets lefty David Peterson. Aaron Judge, 2 for 9 with a double and 3 strikeouts against Joe Ryan. So if you want to be a little frisky, you could go Aaron Judge under 1.5 total bases. He's actually gone under this in 12 of the last 20 home games at night. So something to keep in mind is Aaron Judge, not a play today. But I do like Mr. Giancarlo Stanton tonight, even though I'm a little worried because he did well last night with his insane homers. Yeah, Volpe's been on an absolute tear. Volpe bats too far in the lineup. Yeah, but hits, runs, and RBI is it's not like he needs 2 base hits or something. Hits, runs, and RBI are combining those those sections. So Ryan under 6.5 Ks. So I did look into Joe Ryan's strikeouts today. But the Yankees, the problem is they still strike out a decent amount, the Yankees. So they're averaging just over 5 strikeouts a game, which is pretty high. I'll share the screen and we could look at the MLB prop spreadsheet and we could take a look at the Yankees recently. So this is, remember, the MLB prop spreadsheet, premium subscribers at the propqueen.com newsletter have access to it. And I have a tutorial on the Prop Queen Sports YouTube page. So you could see how to use this Prop Queen, the prop spreadsheet. So the Yankees, looking at their last, these are against, this section right here is against righties. This is lefties. So yesterday, Zebby Matthews had 9, then Alexander had 3, Hunter Brown only had 5, Leiter only had 3, Evaldi had 6, Cabrera 7, Perez 5. What other good pitchers? Zach Wheeler had 8, Bassett had 8. That was in Toronto. Home games, though, you could see 8, 5, 6. Listen, Joe Ryan has an ERA just above a 4 against the Yankees in 2 starts at Yankee Stadium. I don't hate the under, but my problem is, and the way that what'd you say here? Just versus Yankees, 10-3 to the under versus pitchers last 13. Let me see the spreadsheet. Yeah, a lot of unders recently against the Yankees, but it doesn't. Listen. When any lineup is averaging just over 5 or more strikeouts a game against starters, I do not bet unders against those teams. So even though the Yankees haven't been striking out as much recently, they still overall in the season are averaging just over 5 strikeouts a game, which is above average. That's a stay away for me. You just never know. Joe Ryan is a good pitcher who at any given moment, and also the weather is really crappy right now, so I don't know. Maybe that could play to the under, but I think it clears up after 7 or 8 o'clock. But yeah, so I stay away when a team overall in the season has a higher K rate, even if they're not striking out that much now, because you do not want to be on the wrong end of that streak. Stay away. Okay, I don't know why I was on that topic. Oh, we're going to talk Giancarlo Stanton. Let me see. I have a bunch of different hitter props that you could look at today, and then I'll get into some pitcher props. Then we'll talk a little WNBA, and then I have to finish the newsletter because I still didn't finish that. I don't think the game's played yet. I don't think it's raining yet in New York. Oh, maybe it is. It looks a little wet out. It was supposed to rain here, between 5 and 7, so just something to keep in mind. It might be a damp field or something. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a short delay, but I think the rain's supposed to stop a little bit after first pitch. But it looks, I don't know. It was very dark and windy out before, and it was very hot out today. Who did I pick for Beat the Streak? Great question, by the way. I will tell you right now. So for Beat the Streak and Splash Sports, for anyone that doesn't know, Kelly and I, why did it log me out? That's annoying. No, wrong email. No. So for anyone that doesn't know, Kelly in Vegas and I created this. Damn it. I think I sent it to my friend anyway. Okay. Well, there went that. Did I send it to my friend? I think I remember. Nope, I didn't. Damn it. It logged me out. I'm so annoying. This show is just a disaster today. I think I saved my password. Damn it. Okay. Anyway, for anyone that doesn't know, Kelly in Vegas and I have this hit streak contest going on Splash Sports. It's a lot of fun. You guys should definitely check it out. I definitely got that. Oh, I got it. Yes. Okay, I'm in. So for tonight, because I had a few entries, Christian Yelich. Oh, and JT Realmuto lost. Well, that's not fun. Oh no, sorry. That game just started. Duh. Okay. JT Realmuto and Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich already hit, so that's fun. So we hit him. Now we're waiting on JT. I only have 2 left. I lost a bunch yesterday. Use the extra code for an extra $10. Correct. Anyway, let's see. That's J-Ram. Okay, Giancarlo Stanton. So Giancarlo Stanton is a batter that I like today, as we're on the topic of the Yankees. So at home at night against right-handers, Stanton is averaging just under 3 hits, runs, and RBI, going over in 64% of games. It's a small sample size, and he's 0 for 3 against Joe Ryan. But lifetime against the Twins, Stanton's batting .311. He's hitting .323 with 12 homers and 30 ribbies over his last 30 games dating back to July 2nd. Stanton's OPS, the best in any 30-game span in his Yankees career. That's how good and how hot Giancarlo Stanton's playing right now. Joe Ryan, ERA just before Yankee Stadium, not that impressive. So if you want to bat tonight, Giancarlo could be the bat to choose, as long as you're not afraid that he just had a hot night last night. Tyler Soderstrom, a very underrated name for the Athletics, but he has been on a hot streak as well. He's on a 12-game hit streak, hitting .320 with 9 extra base hits. You could go over his hits, runs, and RBI. They're at home against the Rays. And remember what Jared Block just said in the guest segment. He said that is great hitting weather in Sacramento tonight. We know Sacramento has been great for hitting all season, but the weather tonight even helps it. Soderstrom's cashed the over in 60% of home games at night against right-handers, including 8 of the last 10. And in the last 10 games, Soderstrom's averaging just over 3 hits, runs, and RBI. So you could look to him tonight. J-Ram, another player to look to. The Cleveland Guardians are starting against the Marlins at 640. Ramirez is averaging 2.5 hits, runs, and RBI at home this year when facing righties at night. J-Ram's also hitting .333 in his career against the Marlins this season, and Ramirez is batting .313 at home. He's homered twice. He homered twice yesterday, and J-Ram is 5 homers away from becoming the 5th player in MLB history with at least 30 homers and 30 stolen bases in at least 3 seasons. He joined Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonds, Alfonso Soriano, and Hojo. So pretty cool there for Jose Ramirez. I think that was it on hitter props to look at for tonight. Used Soderstrom yesterday for MLB Beat the Streak because Pikkit Trent faded it. Oh, that's smart. Yeah, Soderstrom's been great. You're not the only one that he killed you. My friend also lost on Nick Kurtz. So that stinks. I'm sorry. Marley's here. I don't know why you're here. You want attention? You want attention? You already ate. She already ate. That's why she was good for 50 minutes. Hi, honey. I know she probably has to go out, is my guess. So we're going to finish this soon, and I'm sure she's going to have to go out while it rains. Lay down, Mar. Lay down. You want to lay down? Anyway, we've got pitcher props to look at before we get to the W. So some pitcher props to look out for tonight. Kevin Gausman under 5.5 strikeouts. So he's gone under this in 3 of 4 against teams with low K rates, and 2 of the 3 were at home. 7 of the last 10 righties to start against the Cubs went under 5.5 Ks. This season, right-handers are averaging just over 4 strikeouts per start when facing the Cubs. 58% of those starters have gone under their strikeout prop, so Gausman under 5.5 Ks. David Peterson over 4.5 Ks when facing a lineup with a high strikeout rate against lefties. Peterson's gone over in 10 of 15 starts, including 6 of 8 at home. Lefties are 15 and 12 over under their K prop, averaging just over 5 strikeouts per game against the Braves. And Dodgers righty Shohei Ohtani, I know he's probably not going to be in that long, but over 5.5 Ks. The Angels are the most strikeout-prone lineup that Ohtani has faced since coming back on the mound. He just had 8 strikeouts against the Cardinals, a team with a very low strikeout rate. The Angels average close to 6 strikeouts a game. Righty starters, 7 of the last 10 went over 5.5 against them. Ohtani in a revenge spot? Hell yeah, I'll take his over 5.5 Ks today against the Angels. Let's see, we've got some WNBA. Bria Hartley, over 8.5 points. The number is too low. She's averaging just under 11 points a game at home. 63% of guards to face the Sky have gone over their points prop. The Sky have been one of the worst defenses in the league all season, second worst in the last 10 games. After putting up just 6 points against this horrible defense on June 15th, she should have a better outing the second time around, especially because she's been playing so well at home recently. So I would go Bria Hartley over her points tonight. And another play in the W that I liked was Sonia Citron to go under 15.5 points. She's only averaging 13 points a game at home this year. She actually has more success on the road, which is why only 25% of her games at home went over 15.5 points. Only 41% of guards to face Golden State went over their points prop this season. And the Valkyries are an underrated, great defense, ranking second overall in least points allowed to their opponents and number 1 in the last 10 games. So she should have some problems tonight. Sonia Citron under her 15.5 points. So that's what I've got in the W. I do have, I think, propaganda, but it might not. Let me see. The games might have already been debating on. That happened. Okay, we've got a few, so I guess I'll run it because I like the stinger. So let's get to some propaganda. Oh, I love that song. Okay, propaganda. I didn't make this a graphic, but here we are. Most bet on props according to BetMGM tonight. Christopher Sanchez already is on the mound. That game just went live about 40 minutes ago, so we'll see how he does there. Juan Soto is the second most bet on prop at BetMGM to hit a home run at 3-1. Seth Lugo, he's already pitching. Let's see if the public lost on that over 4.5 Ks. They did. He only had 2, went 4 innings, gave up 6 runs. So the public lost on Seth Lugo's over today. Max Kepler to hit a home run. Oh, under, sorry, not 2. Okay, if you're laying 355, you're insane. Trevor Rogers under 5.5 Ks. He is starting at 635 up against Seattle. Let's take a look real quick at Seattle against lefties. Ooh, Marley, what are you doing? So the Mariners, against lefties, 18-12 over under, averaging 5.6 strikeouts per game. And they like the under. Yeah, that's a no for me. The Mariners just don't strike out a lot against righties, but against lefties, they tend to strike out. So I would be fading that. I would take the over on Rogers, not the under. So, yeah, those are the most bet on props according to BetMGM. So, who does Citron play for? So the WNBA prop for Sonia Citron, she plays for the Washington Mystics, and they're up against the Golden State Valkyries. So if you wanted to play in the WNBA tonight, then that's that. I guess then we'll get to Royal Lock. Ooh, okay, I'm going to think of this one. Royal Lock of the day. I don't know which one. I really like all the strikeout props I gave out today. I like all 3. Gossman under 5.5, but it scares me when he's home, so I might back off of that one. David Peterson over 4.5 Ks. I think I like that one the best because of sample size. So 10 of 15, David Peterson's gone over 4.5 Ks against a high K rate team and 6 of 8 at home. Lefties are averaging just over 5 strikeouts a game when facing the Braves. Even though Peterson doesn't have the greatest career numbers against the Braves, I probably would go over there with him being at home. Again, just be careful because of the Marley, stop biting the shelf. Just because of the rain, just be careful because it might rain here. In the W, those are my 2 favorite plays in the W tonight that I gave out. Bria Hartley over 8.5 points. She's shooting much better at home, averaging just under 11 points a game, getting a Sky defense that sucks. And then Washington, Sonia Citron under 15.5 points because she struggles more at home than she does on the road, and she's getting an underratedly great defense this year in the Golden State Valkyries. So those would be my best bets of the day. But my royal lock obviously is a strikeout prop, so I would say Dylan Peterson. Oh my God, I do this all the time. My mom laughs. It's my brother's friend Dylan. David Peterson to go over 4.5 Ks is probably my favorite play of the day, just because it fits the model the best. But if you want Shohei and you need action on his revenge spot against the Angels, then go with his over 5.5 Ks or the over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBI. But I don't like to take Ohtani at the plate when he's on the mound, solely because I think when he's on the mound, that's his main focus until he gets off the mound. Maybe he goes 5. We'll see. But anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in to the show today, for listening to me be an a-hole to my sister. Thank you to Jared Block for joining the show for the first time. Make sure to go check him out over on social media, especially if you need anything NFL related with props or fantasy. They've got you covered over there at Trinity Analytics. I'm really grateful that everyone in the chat says I've helped them, because that's what I'm here for. Some days, truthfully, like today, are super busy and sometimes stress me out to the point that I feel like, oh my gosh, I am so stressed to get this show underway, and am I even enjoying this anymore? Like some days I'm just so frantic and getting everything done. But then when I see you guys in the chat and you guys are here every day, it just reminds me why I do this. So I do appreciate all of you guys in the chat day in and day out talking, because if it wasn't for you guys, I literally, people tell me all the time, would you ever pre-record? And I'm like, hell to the effing no. I love having my live stream and I love having you guys in the chat. You guys make this whole show. So I appreciate all you guys, like Sean Michael, Lewis Creech, Easy Money, Jamie34, Casbra93, Joseph Rodriguez, AOD. You guys are always here day in, day out. Appreciate all of the regulars. And I know that someday all of this hard work is going to pay off. I do hopefully have some exciting news coming in the next month before football. Spoke to my agent, and you guys, trust me, are the reason for any of this success coming this way. So again, let me just give you all a shout out, because I do this for you guys, not so much for me. But it would be nice to make a lot of money for it. I'll be on VSiN tomorrow, filling in for an hour on Make It Rain, 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern. Baseball slate tomorrow. Is it really short because it's Thursday? Actually, it's a decent Thursday slate. So we've got 5 night games, 2 afternoon games tomorrow in Major League Baseball. I get a break from the Yankees too, so that's nice. Yeah, so we'll have a short show tomorrow. We'll see. But anyway, I am going TNT the line. I don't think it's coming back, but we'll see. I haven't heard anything about it, but I will let you know. So thanks for asking, but I'm not sure yet. I still have the sign for it somewhere over here in the office. Oh, Mark, there you go. Mark 2. So I was looking at the recent list. You were up there. You didn't talk much recently, but Mark 2. Mark, you're always here every day. Appreciate you, Mark. Okay. Got to go finish the newsletter. Got to go do some other stuff to make some money and some social videos that I have to produce and walk Marley. Hopefully it's not raining. I will speak to you all tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the Prop Game Pod. Have a great and profitable night, everybody.